that is EDISPHERE.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also going to explain that what kind of how the Azure websites manage all continuous integrations and when we check in into the VSTS. That's the second point. That's the major second point.
Okay.
It also, these two major 2 points also contain some sub points that I also going to cover in this today's meeting.
Okay. Naresh, have you joined in? I can see Naresh in the meeting, but I think he's not joined in the audio.
Yeah, I am here.
Okay, you're here. Okay, great.
Able to listen.
Okay, great. Fine. So we can get going, Akhilesh. Yeah.
Okay, sure. As you already know that today's meeting is actually organized for EDISPHERE website, how we have organized the EDISPHERE website, how we have created and how and what sort of things we have used in that. So let's start with a list of the softwares that we have used for the generation of these sites. Okay. There is nothing fancy software. There's no any complex software we have used. You can edit that EDISPHERE website that's available over in VSTS to any of the text editor as well as in any of the IDE. I mostly prefer Visual Studio for most of my projects, so that's why I've used Visual Studio. You're getting Visual Studio and all that file structure that we have organized.
Yeah.
And what different technologies that use what sort of plugins that I have used that I'm going to cover in next few minutes in this meeting. So as you are going to see, as you are looking at my screen, you are seeing the Visual Studio window. In that you have there is a Solution Explorer that you are looking at. You're getting Solution Explorer. This Solution Explorer shows you what sort of the directory structure, what sort of the file structure we have used. There is a very unusual folder naming that we have used, what the underscores and all that. It is a part of one of the plugin that we have used named Jekyll. So what is Jekyll? In briefly, I'm going to explain what is Jekyll. Jekyll is one of the plugin that we have used for the creation of static site that is actually available over on the Azure web app. Jekyll is nothing but a plugin that runs on the Ruby. It has actually been created in Ruby. Okay. And how this installation is. How the installation procedure we have used. We have explained all sort of things over in README file.
Okay.
In README file, if you want to use if you want to see how that procedure is actually going on, you can see that README file over in your VSTS account. All codes are available in VSTS.
Okay.
So next thing I'm going to explain
just sorry to interrupt. Akhilesh, you're making this too complicated. It's not this complicated. So Ganga, this is a website, and what we are doing is typically the website has to be assembled because header, footer are present in layouts, and we are generating static HTML pages from this. So Jekyll is the name of the tool which is used to build the static website.
Okay.
That's it. So let's not get into tons of complications here. It's very simple. As you said, Akhilesh, the stuff how to run Jekyll is described in README, and it's a very standard tool used by many companies all over the world. Basically, we wanted very simple and quick running website, and that's why. See, the thing is, header footer of the website is repeated across many pages, right? So instead of copy pasting it in every file, some tool has to basically copy paste it into individual files, and that's being done by Jekyll, and that is what Jekyll is. It's just a command line tool which when run, it takes the folder structure which Akhilesh is going to describe, and it generates a static folder structure, and Akhilesh will show you that output level. So it is something like compiling code into some binary. Instead of that, we are compiling partial pages together into one whole page. And we are just copy pasting those pages into Azure web app. That's it. Nothing more complicated than that.
Okay.
It's just a tool. Don't worry about whether it is written in Ruby. Don't worry about what is it a plugin, anything of that sort. Keep it very simple. Purpose related. We are not going to ever write code in Ruby. If you bring in Ruby, people get confused. Okay.
So these are a list of the folders that we have created in project. They are named as underscore includes, underscore layout, underscore pages. So basically what this underscore explains here, underscore includes are the pages that specifically processed by the Jekyll when he is going to create a static site. So whatever the content that are present in the include folder, whatever the content that are present in the layout folder are processed, and these base, footer.html heads are all merged into individual pages. So the repetition of the code that we have to do when we do when we create the website, those repetition can be managed by the Jekyll. So here is the layout section. Layout section explain you what kind of layout present in our website. First, obviously the head, navbar, and whatever the content, the pages that are going to render over here are rendered over in this content section. So this is just a basic layout we have, and those individual pages, just like head have different codes. These codes are merged into individual pages when Jekyll process all the pages into site folder. So this includes these layouts, and these pages are by default pages, by default folders that you have to create, and those folders must be processed by the Jekyll. So the pages are actually the list of the pages that are available in our static site. That is company.html, case studies, and all that stuff that is available over the website comes into the pages section. So that these pages sections are processed processed by Jekyll. Now I'm going to explain what specific code, what codes we have also used so that Jekyll can understand that this page should have to process by itself. This is the section that is available on individual pages, which explains Jekyll to process this page for it. This is not the mandatory section. If you don't want this section for any of the pages, you can even delete that, but still Jekyll process that page. This section is known as YAML front matter. Whatever comes in this section that is processed by Jekyll. So these are nothing but the Jekyll variables which are used over in base and HTML pages where the repetition is going to occur. Yes, hello?
Yeah. Naresh, you there?
Yes, I am here.
Yeah, you're able to follow. Do you have any queries till now?
Yeah, I have one query.
Are we allowed to ask queries now, or should we wait till the end?
Yes.
Okay.
You can.
Yeah, Naresh, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, hi Akhilesh. This is one question which arose in my mind. It's basically what you have said, that the layout default, what the process over the title and the description, which it is written over there.
Yes, sir.
In this page only, in the legal page which you have cleared, legal.html, this page only, by default it is taking for the title and description. Is there any possibility that if you want to change the title and description for every pages, it can be done or not for the separate pages? Will it be possible to edit from here, or is there anywhere somewhere else we have to do?
Whatever the changes you have to do in the title, you have to do it over here only.
Okay. And once we are going to change, it will be for all the pages or for separate pages?
For separate pages, not all the pages.
Okay. It means at present we are at legal.html page, right? Hello? Akhilesh, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. If we are going to click this legal.html page, the above section which we are showing right now, where the cursor is, it's the description and the title over there
Yes,
at the serial number third and fourth.
yes, sir.
Yeah, in whatever we put here at the title, it will be for that page only, which we have clicked.
Yes, sir. Yes. It's for the generated file. It's only for that page only.
For legal.html.
Yes.
Tell him first what they are showing.
Actually, I'm showing what is actually generated in the site when Jekyll processed all your pages.
Right.
So
And the underscore side for that.
the generated site is created inside the underscore site folder. So whatever you have to see what uh, Jekyll has added, you can see it in underscore site folder.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the generated site. Look at the title. We have given title here over here, legal.EDISPHERE. Same thing has been rendered in individual result pages that is processed after that is processed by the Jekyll. So individual pages have individual title. You can change those title from here only, and those title has been reflected into your static page.
And one more thing I would like to ask, it's on serial number third, that title only. What this and percent am dash semicolon shows in between legal and EDISPHERE. Is it any sort of code, or it's what it is for the title page?
It is just a dash to represent in the code. When this page is going to load over the browser,
Right.
this m dash is converted into actually a dash sign. So that is why we have used address m dash over there, because
Right.
we have to show.
So while editing the title or description, wherever it is this and percent m dash semicolon is used, it is for the basically it is for only that to add that dash space dash.
It is just a HTML code. It's nothing more than that.
Right. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Please go ahead with it.
Okay. Okay. So actually, if you want to try everything over on your over your computer, you just specifically open the README file. The README file is available in this in your VSTS. This actually in README file we have explained all detailed steps inside how that you have to carry out all the operations and all that. So you can easily perform. You can easily see what kind of changes are actually occurs inside the Jekyll and how the pages have been processed.
Right.
So this is the README file available here.
Okay.
I'm actually opening the file. So look at here. Everything that you need comes into the prerequisites. That is what is essential and how the process is going to occur. That I explained inside the installation. And how you have to run those on your local machine, on your machine locally. That also explains over in running preview. And whatever comes inside this three in this section, that is YAML front matter, are nothing but the Jekyll variables. You can use these are all mostly predefined variables, but you can also use custom variables. But most of the time, you only need predefined variable to work on. So description, layout, and title are all predefined variables in Jekyll.
Yeah. That I have checked. That I have checked. From that VSTS also I have checked. The title and description is there only.
Yes, yes, right. Now, now I'm explaining about the deployments and all that. For deployment purpose, this is all about the coding. So I presume you got familiar with what we have used and how it has been implemented on all that. Hello.
Yeah.
So the next thing is about deployment, how that is all deployed and all that. And first of all, as you are using VSTS, you have a lot of high size binaries and all that high size files. That big size files you have to add over your website. So please do not add those in VSTS. Please do not add in your Git repository. If you want to add that if you want to add that over your website, you can manually do that process. Because if you're going to add that in your Git repository, it will unnecessarily increase your Git repository size. And mostly we use Git only for the maintaining the codes, maintaining the source of the project. So that is why.
Right. So you mean to say that whatever deployment output, that is the applications that are generated after a build, those should not be checked in, is what you mean to say, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. We don't do that anyway for our EDISPHERE applications also. So we will follow that only.
But more importantly, Ganga, I think what Akhilesh is specifically referring to here is the scenario where you upload that setup zip file, right? 150 MB, 300 MB. And that you want to avoid here.
Okay.
Directly upload them into the web app as I had shown it to you earlier.
Okay.
Okay. Because, even that is something you want to be deployed to your public website, but not via here, not via CI, not via the thing, because it will really source control systems, especially Git, is not built to handle very large files.
Okay.
So specifically all the patch files, setup files which you have zipped together and upload, that is the scenario we are talking about.
Okay.
So that was the one point for VSTS and the deployment. The next thing I'm going to explain is about how we did automatic deployments and all that. You are actually there are 3 to 4 files that is available, which are actually do the job.
Just tell them these are the 4 files and you don't have to work.
The deployment file, which actually calls this deploy.cmd. Since we are using, since Azure Web App uses Kudu, we actually manually set up this deployment for this web app. The deployment calls this deploy.cmd. Deploy.cmd is actually set up everything, the folders and all that in your web app. That is actually happening over Azure. So deploy.cmd do all the setup, just like creating repositories and all that. This deploy.cmd actually calls getruby.cmd, which are nothing but the batch files. The getruby.cmd at first time getruby.cmd actually downloads list of the tools that are required for Jekyll to process on over the web app, and it set it up in the repository and tools folder. After that, when the Jekyll is added, Jekyll process all the files that are checked inside the repository, and it finds out which files, which folders to be processed. After the processing has been done, it creates the $_ folder inside the repository folder that is over the web app, and copies whatever the content present in $_ into the www root, which is actually the root folder of our EDISPHERE website.
Okay.
So this is very simple to work on. I think I explained everything that is required for EDISPHERE website that we use. Yes, there is a one file that is called config.yml file, that is YAML file. This file actually used. This is the file. This file. Actually, this file is used to create any configuration for the Jekyll. You can create your custom configuration inside config.yml. So this is the configuration file for Jekyll.
Okay. Can you show what exactly has been done on the VSTS UI? So that, I mean, we just wanted to get in sync as to how it used to be for the other projects.
So Ganga, just one clarity, okay? There is no build definition and there is no release definition here. They are
Okay.
using inbuilt Azure system. So go to Azure portal. So basically, you can go to Azure portal
Okay.
and you can go to the web app. In your case, it will be EDI public web app. We have a trial web app which is doing the exact same thing called EDISP public. Don't worry about the name of the web app in our subscription. But if you go to your web app, so look at the web app is selected. Okay. Let me know when it comes up on your screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you go to deployment options there. This has already been connected, but typically it will ask you what repository it is connected to.
Hmm.
So we specified the Git repository. So in your case, it will be edisphere.visualstudio.com slash company website slash underscore git slash EDI public website or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And what you see over this all things, the top one is the check mark is the current version of the website.
Mm-hmm.
So every time you make a change set and commit it, that change set is reflected over here. So all of those changes causes automatic deployment. So Azure is intelligent enough to whenever you make a change set and commit it, it will fetch the latest code and rerun it. It will generate, as Akhilesh earlier explained, it will generate the underscore site project and it will deploy, it will copy it into the www root folder. You can also see the log of a particular run by clicking on it and then say clicking view log. So that's it. That's the setup. There's no build definition. There's no release definition. We don't need to buy any build minutes or anything of that sort. Azure has this inbuilt functionality. Just connect it to the source code and it will automatically copy the repository and run whatever is present in deploy command file, which Akhilesh has linked to get Ruby file.
Okay. And regarding the website being different on Google Chrome, I mean, what I understood today, I'm not sure if Ajay already spoke to you. When we are viewing it on Internet Explorer, it seems to be absolutely fine. But on Google Chrome, there's generally the layout, the positions, and all are a bit different and not the usual self. So, is there some separate coding that you have to do to cater to every browser?
So the thing about that is basically you have to ensure that whatever HTML, CSS you write is cross-browser compatible.
Okay, so
now I'm surprised to hear because we have tested it on Chrome. Akhilesh, can you go to edISPHERE.com Chrome? And can you open it in Internet Explorer as well, please? So Ganga, what is broken? Can you please explain? Can you show us?
No, I just wanted to ask because Ajay told me about this and he asked me to.
Sorry to disturb. It's actually we had seen over such laptop. Actually, I have seen it.
Okay,
It's Internet Explorer, the website, the image which is on the left side, the description which is the home page image, that it is looking very fine over here. But when we browse it over Chrome or Mozilla, that image is little bit it's not fixing, it's not covering actually, it is not visible. That shipping lines which is written over there, shipping lines, it goes somewhere else. It's not that much responsive actually.
So someone will have to take a look at that and fix it. Because the thing is, websites nowadays, desktop, web, laptops, mobile, tablets, these are in so many shapes and sizes, Ganga, that Naresh said that we have to make sure that you have to test it for every scenario and work with it. So it has nothing to do. See, cross-browser compatibility and cross-device compatibility is a pain point on any web application.
Okay.
Even a simple website, we don't have very fancy code here. So
Yeah.
I
No, because I tested this at my end. I couldn't
I
see that problem. So that's why I wanted to ask you whether he's already spoken and have you already fixed it.
no, we haven't made
So,
any change. As you can see in the history of this way
okay, okay.
also. I think it's mostly his laptop resolution, his laptop settings. See, there are hundreds and hundreds of scenarios. People sometimes have bigger fonts because they have eyesight problem.
Hmm.
Sometimes they are running it in zoom mode.
Hmm.
If you zoom uh, the web app, it becomes complicated. So
Hmm.
there is a cost benefit analysis we have to do about how complicated we want to go.
Hmm.
If it's really bad for so typically any web app, any web page today is designed with some intention that okay, this is the resolution we'll support, these are the browsers we'll support.
Okay.
Beyond that, we can't do anything. So if Ajay sir feels that there is an issue on that resolution on his laptop, we'll have to look specifically and then code for that scenario. But we
Okay.
haven't done any fixes in last 1 week.
Okay, fine.
But it's actually not resolution is okay. That is acceptable because of the resolution. But when the website when we are talking about responsiveness, it is done. The display is done in percentage, pixels and percentages. So I don't think so that it's a big issue. If we can check it for Chrome, Mozilla, and Internet Explorer, that it will work fine. Now, if it is working on some another laptop, if it is working fine, then it should work on other also. Basically, all the desktops are or all the laptops are 15 inches, so there will not be a problem of resolution. It's a, everywhere it's a 30. I have checked it. The resolution is same.
Okay, no, because Naresh, I have checked on Google Chrome and Internet Explorer on my desktop, and
Right.
I don't see any significant difference. Just that a little bit that the text looks different in Internet Explorer and Google Chrome,
Right.
and other than that, I don't really see any difference. So that's why I'm just
Yeah,
wondering if it
actually,
could be.
what I can see here, it's very good. It's the website is very much very good. It's the visibility of the website is very good over this laptop, over the screen which I'm seeing right now.
Hmm.
It's very nice.
Hmm.
It is the base. It is basically the perfect design of perfect visibility of the web page,
Hmm.
which it should be, and it should be over other also. But it's not that good on my laptop
No,
or
maybe you could just check on what resolution is this system set. Akhilesh, would you be able to let us know so that maybe there is some problem with the resolution, and that could
yeah,
be the
maybe.
reason. Is there any specific resolution that has been set on the system, and maybe the operating system version? I mean, all these things could affect it.
No, ma'am. There is no any specific resolution set for the website.
No, no, no. I'm talking about your desktop.
Hi, this is Ajay.
Yeah,
Yeah, Ajay from our team, then I'll
yeah,
let him
yeah,
answer that question.
yeah.
I just want to know on which browser and what's the version of your browser you're running on, because it uses Flexbox, which is something new
Mm-hmm.
and requires a specific browser version. So can I know?
Naresh, would you know what is the version
Yeah,
of?
my version is the latest. It is updated to the latest version. Let me reveal it. Which version is mine? It's Firefox is 52.0.2.
What about Chrome?
No, hold on. First of all, that's not a question. Question is on which laptop it is looking bad. Let's take a screenshot of that.
Yeah, yeah. I can send it.
Maybe you could share your screen.
Yeah, I can.
Should I make you the presenter? Or maybe you can just try sharing your screen.
Okay, I'm sharing.
Did you share?
Yeah, I have. I did.
You are the presenter.
Yeah, I have shared the screen.
Are you able to see your screen?
You are presenting primary monitor.
I just
Yeah, it is loading now.
Actually, Skype is a little bit slow. That's why it will take a time to.
Yeah, it's loading now. Yeah. Yeah, please show now, Naresh.
I'm unable to have it. My screen is visible or not?
Yeah, it's absolutely visible. You just need to minimize
Yeah,
and show us. Yeah.
see, this I'm showing on Mozilla Firefox I'm using, and
Okay, so this looks like a,
yeah, and the resolution of my resolution is perfect.
I can see that.
And go to Chrome in the same.
Please go to Chrome in the same laptop.
Yeah,
Thank
on the Chrome also EDISPHERE.com. This is over Chrome. Here also it's the visibility is not good.
Okay,
Now for
like
the Internet Explorer.
This is great. Right.
What version of Windows is there on this system?
Windows.
Because 10, that's not the problem. I'm not worried about that. It's mostly about screen size and resolution.
actually it's only about screen size.
Yes, maybe. Yeah, this difference. It's not only on my laptop. Actually, I'm getting it. This difference is over Ajas's monitor also.
Yeah, so mainly, as you can see, it's same in all three browsers. So it's not browser dependent right now. There are possibilities that there might be browser dependent bugs, but see, all three browsers, the shipping line is broken.
It's over all the three browsers. It's over Internet Explorer also. It's for the Chrome and Mozilla.
So basically, this particular resolution or screen size, whatever it's called, Ajay, we need to handle that, correct?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
the best you can do is you can tell us the details about the screen size, and we'll test out certain changes in the CSS file. There's nothing more we can do here right now. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is something we can follow up later on. I think let's not stretch this call too much, and let's figure out if there are any pending questions about how to work with this or anything else.
No, so Naresh, you're clear, right? I mean, if we have to make any changes, what are the steps that you have to follow? I mean, rest all the checkout, check-in, and everything is going to be the same. And the main thing to be understood here is we don't have any explicit build definition or release definition like what we had for the source code and all. So
Yeah.
everything is inbuilt. Okay, Vijay, do you have any questions? Naresh, any questions?
Yes, I have one more thing. I have some questions over the deployment, basically.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the page where I'm going. Suppose this is I am here on the pages,
Mm-hmm.
and now if this is index.html, I'm going to go. It has to be edited. Suppose I am going to edit it. Whatever it is, whatever I'm going to edit, I can edit it from here also
Without checking out.
without checking out.
Hmm.
Now, if I make a small change here it is 3 simple steps. Suppose this 3, I have deleted this 3, and now I have to save. I did a save for this change.
Right.
And how it will be visible? Will it be directly visible to the live website, or somewhere I have to do something like?
It's about 2 to 3 minutes for it to be reflected.
Okay.
I think that this change was made by Ajay sir also yesterday. I don't know if you were trying it out with him or something.
Yeah.
But yes, if you save it and wait for 2 minutes, it will be visible on the live website.
Automatically, it will be visible there.
That's what we said, right? It's continuous integration, and Akhilesh showed you that in Azure portal.
Yeah.
That setting is.
Right.
And
So
if-
no, but would you? Is it? I don't think it's a good practice to do an edit here, right? Right, Abhay?
It's fine, Ganga, no problem.
So no, it will
For
be
minor
updated
changes,
automatically. It will be updated.
yeah, Ganga, for minor changes, it is totally fine. See, because if you are just removing one word or something, that's fine. The reason we typically want to do it locally is because on your machine is because you want to test it out, right? So what Akhilesh will do or what Ajay will do here when they are testing some major change is they will make the changes and then run Jekyll locally and see the underscore site folder locally first, whether the output is what they expected. But if you are just changing one word, you are being very careful, then updating it on VSTS is not a problem. Right? I'm saying you have to make that judgment. Don't try to add new pages immediately without testing them locally. Or you just get a broken website.
Okay.
Okay, so the kind of change which he is talking about, where you need to update a phone number, email address, one line of text, it's totally fine. If you are working with new variable names, major changes, then of course we have to test it out locally before doing anything else.
In case I have, may I ask? May I continue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, this suppose I am going to make this title, editing this title.
Right.
So is there anything that I have to look for any code for the any specific thing regarding the codes of this HTML codes I have to look into, or either if I wish to change this title. Suppose I just want to make this title to I want to remove this add m dash. This is the code from Jekyll. By default, this is.
It's
Suppose I
not,
have
it's
to
not
put a pipe
this
here
is just
like this.
HTML.
I have made a pipe here, removing that m dash. Will it affect the website?
Once you save it, it will affect the website definitely. The question is, will Jekyll process it correctly, right? Because this is where Ganga's caution comes in, which is do it locally. Test it out from the generated underscore site folder, whether the output matches what you put as an input, right? See, because any system you use, it need not be HTML code compatible. So we are using Jekyll, and it is definitely compatible for most scenarios, but we use encoded dash. So you might have to use encoded pipe instead of using the pipe character directly. So it is advisable that you do that change locally, test it out by running it on a local machine, and committing those changes and pushing them to VSTS.
How it will be uploaded by, suppose it is, I download the code, whatever it is.
Yes.
Discard these changes. Yes, okay, I discard these changes. I will, what is the way actually? I want to know.
Have this repository in your Visual Studio and then work from there. That's what Akhilesh just showed. Akhilesh, can you share your screen?
Naresh,
I am giving control to my screen.
Naresh, you have Visual Studio installed at your end, right? 2015?
I have not checked. Actually, I am going to give control for this. Give control automatically.
Naresh, that's not practical. Doing remote control over Skype is very slow. We cannot spend that much time.
Okay.
No, Naresh, basically how it is that we all developers need to have a Visual Studio 2015 to be installed on our respective developer end. Okay, and when whatever we are working on, we need to have a local copy of those projects at our end. Okay, that's why I was concerned when you did a direct edit there. That is not the normal thing that you should do. There is always a process of a checkout and check-in. So whatever project Akhilesh had basically shown you was that 2015 project that you would actually have at your end if you do a get. Okay, so probably I will introduce you to that because that part is something that you have to bring it into practice.
Definitely.
Okay, so that checkout, check-in and all has to be a part of it. Okay, so
that part is only, it will be once for all. I just want to change these titles or descriptions only, and it's nothing. It is required for in future. Basically, whenever it will be required, it will be done. So these codes or these coding, these pages, I do not need these codes actually to change it on a regular basis. It's for once for all. It's around within 90 days it requires 90 or 120 days. I'll be requiring it within 6 months or 8 months. So it's not a big issue that the code will be changed by at my end. It's only for the time being it is required.
Yeah, that's fine, Naresh. But mainly what Ganga said, right? You have to map it locally, change the code, generate the website after running the Jekyll command, and test it locally whether the output matches what your expectation is.
Exactly.
Then you commit and push it. So Ganga, just one note, okay? This is not Visual Studio Team Foundation Services version control, right? This is Git repository. So there will be no concept of checkout. There will be just the concept of check-in. Any change you make to the file dynamically is automatically considered checkout. Just that is the minor difference. In Visual Studio, it won't even be difficult to understand. Visual Studio, you go to Team Explorer as we have been doing. You'll just see all the changes, compare them, and then commit and push. You don't have to worry too much about that part.
Okay, so you mean to say he's not using the Visual Studio Team Explorer part for this. It is the Git version that, okay.
No. It is, what I'm saying is that you have to use Visual Studio. As you suggested, it is going to be everything same as how you work with API.
Okay.
Except the backing repository, instead of being TFS version control, it is Git.
Git, okay.
So minor word changes. So instead of change set, they will call it commit.
Okay.
Instead of committing, like pushing the change set, you will be pushing the commit upstairs. There's no concept of checkout in Git. So those are minor things. You still have to do Visual Studio. You still have to work locally. So,
Okay. So Naresh, is that clear to you?
Yes, it is. I'm stopping my screen for presenting.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
Anything else? Vijay? I think it should be suffice. I'm not able to hear Vijay, but I think that's enough for today. We should be able to get going, and we'll get back to you on mail. Yeah.
Right,
okay. Thank you so much, Ave. Thank you, Akhilesh. Thanks, Ajay.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Thanks a lot.